We are going to talk some basketball now, a very important game. In fact, it's going to be game 3 of the NBA Finals. These are the final 2 teams standing in the association. They are trying to hoist a trophy so they can call themselves champion of the NBA. Kenny Ducey, DraftKings Contributor, here to help us with some showdown picks, your top plays for the showdown contest for game 3. Who will you be using as your captain on Sunday night? This is 1.5 times the salary, but Kenny, 1.5 times the points you receive in return.
And 1.5 times the fun. I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah!
Emerson. It is. It's almost double the fun, but not quite. I like Drew Holiday here as my captain. I'm going to fire him up again. I said last night that he was my favorite play at the captain. $8,800. His price is really, really good in the flex, but it's even better in the captain spot where it's just 13.2K. Look, I think that this guy still has a great game to play. I think that the Bucks, there's a reason that they're the favorites at the DraftKings Sportsbook, and Drew Holiday should be the guy that leads them to this victory. You know, you definitely want to get Giannis in your lineup. There's no doubt about it, but I don't want to spend all that money when I think there's a guy here that's going to score 50 or 60 fantasy points. Holiday has managed to have great or decent nights. 41 DraftKings fantasy points isn't too shabby. Last night, and it was because he had the 7 assists, 5 rebounds, he had 2 steals, and he didn't really still score that many points. Drew Holiday's only gotten to the free throw line here. He's been the only one of 2 Bucks to get to the free throw line, not named Giannis. There was 2 Bryn Forbes attempts last night, and then there were 3 from Holiday, 2 in game. I expect him to get to the line more. I expect him to make more of his layups, and I think that the stats that he gives you, other than his points, give you a nice pad, a nice floor there, and I think he can get 25 to 30 points, shooting better at home, and I expect Drew Holiday to have a big game here. He's going to shake off the Eric Bledsoe comparisons. He's going to have a good one. He's my captain.
Who's a good player to pair with him in your showdown lineup?
Well, you can take me at my word with this one because I've been a big Chris Middleton fader. I faded him in game 1, or game 2, rather. I said he was going to have a bad game. And here, I like him. I like him to be paired with my captain, Drew Holiday. Of course, I mentioned I'm going to have Giannis in there, so a little mini buck stack. But look, Chris Middleton, it's no secret. He just hasn't had a great level of consistency in this postseason. But when you look at the shooting splits, this season he shot 10% better from 3. 10 whole percent points better from 3-point range at home. And I think that going home, he's going to have 2 good shooting nights. We've just seen it all playoffs long. That last time he played at home against Atlanta, he was 10 of 20 from the field. He only hit 2 threes, but he had 26 points, 62 fantasy points. That is the level that we generally expect from Chris Middleton at home. I think that he fills up the stat sheet here with those rebounds and assists as well, as he has been doing all postseason long. But the points are what you're looking for here. He's going to be a good flex option. I expect some people to fade him too in game 3, coming off a bad game 2. And this is the time to fire up Chris Middleton.
I need some value from you in this game. Please help me out.
Yeah, it's difficult because you look at guys like, Cam Payne really didn't play enough for him to warrant a value play here, and he's a little pricey. You look at a guy like Cam Johnson, I think $4,600, maybe a little too expensive for me to pull the trigger. Look, $6,600 is not usually where we look for value, but I'm looking at Brook Lopez right now at $6,600 because I think this is a guy that can hit 5X, maybe 6X, playing again at home. The last time played at home, much like a lot of these Bucks, 52 DraftKings fantasy points. Now, it was without Giannis, but he has been playing big minutes. He has not been playing big minutes in this series. I expect him to get more minutes in game 3. Why? Well, because Mike Budenholzer has to try something else. PJ Tucker has been the guy to play at 5. They've been playing a lot of small ball. He had 35 minutes last game to Brook Lopez's 28, but he was so ineffective. He wasn't even taking shots. He gave them nothing. Brook Lopez at least gives them rebounding, and he can probably hit just as many threes, if not more, than PJ Tucker can. I think that rebounding should be a big focus for the Bucks. I think that they'll push the Brook Lopez button here at home. He's going to hit a few meme threes. You're going to be happy you got him in your lineup. I think he can get you 40 fantasy points here, and that'd be a great night.
I need to know now, looking ahead, entering game 3, again on Sunday, the NBA Finals, who are you fading? Who do you see available to roster and you say, oh my God, that's disgusting? No, I'm staying away from him.
I don't know if it's disgusting,
Ooh,
but Devin Booker, 10.6K is a lot of money, Emerson. It's a lot of money for a guy that didn't even hit 5X on a 10.6K salary. He was $10,000 in game 2, and he only had 48 DK fantasy points. So he had a great real life game. Everyone is real excited about how many threes he hit, but he didn't really have an efficient game scoring the basketball other than his three-point shots. He didn't really do anything else on the stat sheet, just 11 assists and rebounds. And to me, I think this is a guy that does have a low floor here. I think he had a great night. He had a great game one against the Clippers, and then he disappeared in that series. I love Devin Booker. I think that Devin Booker could make a push for Finals MVP with one more big game, but I don't think it comes on the road in Game 3 again. The only thing we can really trust in this series is the home road splits, because the Bucks have been a different team at home. The Suns have been a different team on the road. We saw how terribly they played in Game 3 and Game 4 of that Clippers series. I expect Devin Booker to come back down to earth a little bit to the range that we saw. I mean, this is a guy that had 29 fantasy points in a game in Los Angeles, followed up with 39. If he was like $8,000 or $9,000, maybe it's a different story. But all of this money, almost $11,000, I can't recommend him.
Switching over to the sportsbook side, is there one bet that has caught your attention? It catches your eye. You can't take your eyes or your mind off of it ahead of Game 3.
I think it's this under 222. I'm just going to take the under every game in this series. And it's because the Milwaukee Bucks, I mentioned that there's not a lot that we know about this series. It's, especially with the Bucks, they've been so erratic. The one thing that's remained consistent with the Milwaukee Bucks is they have defended well. They have had a great defensive performance every single time out, almost every single time out anyway. You had the Brooklyn Nets series, they gave up a million points in Game 2. But other than that, that's the one thing that they've done well. And I think that when you look at the Suns, they're a team that's not only played great defense all season long, but the Milwaukee Bucks have been completely lost on offense. Game 1, it was a relatively low scoring game, despite the fact that the Bucks shot almost 44% from three. I think that that's another situation that could be unfolding in Game 3. I think that we could get a lot of threes for the Bucks and still an under, because they are inefficient in the front court. They can't hit those high percentage shots. I think that there's no reason this total should be so high. The under should have hit in Game 2. And if the under hits in Game 2, I wonder if this total is 222 in Game 3. I'm still going to hit with the under.
Will anyone else on the Bucks besides Giannis decide to play like they're in the NBA Finals?
I don't think so. I mean, look, Pat Connaughton played like it was the NBA Finals in Game 2, and that was about it. I do think that Chris Middleton, again, was going to have a really good Game 3, but other than that, I don't know. I mean, it seems like this team is a little cursed, Emerson. It seems like seems like Drew Holiday is folding, and I don't know who he is anymore. But I do think I have some optimism here that they'll at least win this one game, but I don't think they're going to win the finals.